Welcome to Spirit Intuitive Tarot, and my name is Lisa. It's been a while since I've done one of these, and what better time than now? Because I just witnessed the most embarrassing thing. If you clicked on this video, you know what embarrassing thing I'm talking about. I cannot believe the way Zelenskyy was set up, completely set up for the most embarrassing, humiliating, and performative display I think I've ever seen politically ever. Donnie is a bully, and JD is a follower. You could pretty much tell how far up Donald's rump Putin's hand is, because pretty much from this moment forward, which we've seen indications of it all this time anyway, peppered in, right? But so many people out there just now getting on board with it. But Trump is pretty much just a mouthpiece for Putin. Putin doesn't have to fire a shot. He doesn't have to aggressively do much of anything to try to get to the United States in a negative way, because he's got Donald in there. The level of ignorance and lack of respect that was shown to Zelenskyy is completely indicative of everything that I've ever said. I know a lot of you have said. Trump has issues that go way back to childhood. He's got the daddy issues. He loves the bad guys and envies the good guys, and there's so many ways to show strength and power without being hateful and trying to give this air of superiority, the condescending tone, the everything. It's all such a projection sometimes when I think about it, because I am certain that he and JD ganged up on Zelenskyy today, like Zelenskyy was a little boy, and I feel like the way they treated Zelenskyy today is probably the way each of them had been treated at some point when they were actual little boys. Although, jury's still out on whether Trump is actually an actual grown man at this point anymore. But he just shows his true colors all the time, and he's got so much to hide, and the whole concept of the gaslighting. I've never seen a leader manage to gaslight several countries at the same time. How are you going to have this? I mean, the consensus is pretty popular. Zelenskyy is a heroic guy. He has been the underdog, and he has shown valor and confidence and love of his country, love of his people. He's got the compassion. He cares. He's in there. He is fighting with them. And then we've got our guy who can't hold any conversation without bringing up Biden or Obama. He could be in office for another decade. Let's not conjure that up. I'm just saying he would still be pointing fingers at Biden and Obama about something. It's bizarre. He's just a hateful guy. I guess I don't want this video to be too long. I wanted to post something because I haven't been posting much along the lines of video stuff. I want to get back into this. I'm going to I want to dive a little bit deeper into this, not just into what happened today. Maybe I should do another video. I don't know if I need to throw cards. I don't know if I need to just talk. There were so many, gosh, there were so many aspects. I guess one thing I really want to point out, and I wished I had thought of how to look it up, but there was a guy in the Oval Office who asked a question. Asked Zelenskyy, why don't you have a suit? Why do you never wear a suit? And aside of the fact that the rest of what I'd watched and listened to was horrendous, but this one thing I'm thinking, why are we focusing on this? Because, and this brings me back around, when we've got our unelected co-president Musk in there, he's bringing his kid, he's wearing a cap, he's wearing a t-shirt, he's wearing whatever, God knows what. He's not even supposed to be there. And we've invited this gentleman. I don't care if he shows up in a sweatsuit. I really don't. There's so much, if you've noticed, I know I've noticed, there's so much centered around masculinity and power with this administration. Almost to the point, no, excuse me, it is to the point of overcompensation. There's way too much fixation on things that they should not focus on. It doesn't affect them. The way people live their lives, based on sexual orientation, based on who they love, why they love them, how long they've been loving them. It's not affecting them, and I don't know why it's such an issue. But aside from that, all the chatter about, they like to keep the women down. And we know that DEI is now pretty much another vocabulary word for Black, despite the fact that DEI covers more than just Black. And the concept of DEI is not what they are portraying it to be. It's not lowering standards so that those who are not white males can get in there. It's to level the playing field to the point where a selected group of candidates is all inclusive. And you still got to fight to get to the top. You still got to meet those requirements. You still got to pass the tests. You still got to hit all the bullet points. It's not handed to you. Although it's interesting how much has been handed to Donald, and he fails miserably every time. Except this time he's taking us all with him. So I think it's important that we figure out what we need to do to prevent that from happening right now, right away. Because, I was never in school. I mean, we all took history, right? And of course, a lot of it was whitewashed, so to speak, so that you learned some things and some things you didn't on an official level. But if you were fortunate enough, there was a family member who would fill you in on other things, or you would learn through other people who have had those experiences or who were able to pass those stories on to you. Well, I think it's interesting that when I was paying attention to history in school and I was hearing about all these horrible things with indigenous people, with slavery, with women's rights, with civil rights, and all Holocaust, all these things going on, and you're thinking, gosh, if I were there, I'd want to save that friend or hide that relative, or I want to believe I'd really fight for my life on this if I were in it. Well, here's the thing. We're in it. It's happening right now. And it gets me choked up because it's a jolt. It's a jolt to the system when you think, oh my goodness, you feel like things are slipping. You're trying. You're like climbing up a wall of Vaseline. You can't get a hold of anything. But we have so many critical thinkers and movers and shakers in our community, and people we know. And there's so many things you can do, even if you are not able to physically get out. Phone calls you can make. I even shared something on my community tab that Freebird Spirit Debbie had put on her page with contact numbers. And as things go, if I can find anything, I'll put those sources in my community tab. But now's the time, everybody. And it gets annoying on my end when I'm receiving information of what's going on out there. Know your reliable sources. Figure out what your sources are, guys, when you get your information. And it is overwhelming, but I think it's really important to think of the solutions, is where I'm trying to go with this, because everybody's reporting everything. Everybody's telling you what's going on, but not everybody is saying what to do. So I believe somebody out there knows what to do. And on our own, we can try to figure out what to do. But we should not take this lying down. This is important. This is no joke. And I am going to try to, I always say that, but I am going to try to do more videos where I maybe discuss a little bit more, or I don't know. Can I get you all fired up? Oh, can I get myself fired up? Maybe that's part of it too. Trying to get myself fired up. Well, I'm fired up and I'm ready. So I say, let's do this. I do want everybody like the video. Look for more videos. I do a live stream, Lisa Live. That's pretty much, we don't do a whole lot of politics. We don't throw cards. We just kind of hang out. And it's our downtime. And that's on Saturdays, generally around 7 p.m. Eastern. But these videos can happen whenever, because I'm never sure. Never sure. Most of all, leave a comment when this is over. I should have jotted down some more stuff, because I had so many things to point out about this interaction. I think it's just too embarrassing. I think maybe I need another day to recover. Such an embarrassment. If the goal was to isolate the United States from the rest of the world, that's definitely what's happening right now. And I don't blame the rest of the world one iota, because this needs to stop. And I think we're the only ones that can do it. So thank you for watching. And I hope you come back again soon. Talk to you later.